For the developing world, India should be a role model on how exactly you build a democratic country brick by brick. The fight with coronavirus is taking a toll on every country of the world, but India's performance has been second to none. In this video, we will take a look at how India seems to have been preparing for this pandemic for the last decade or so. Hey guys, welcome to Controversial Declutter. Aadhaar was introduced in the year 2009. Aadhaar was envisioned as a single identity provider for everyone living in India. Aadhaar was backed by biometric data, so it became very difficult to fake, and now every person was uniquely identifiable with this new system. This was further strengthened by Aadhaar Act 2016, which gave a legal backing for Aadhaar to be included in the schemes. The government started providing direct benefit transfers to the needy, plugging in all the leakages of the system. The money went out of hands of the corrupt into the common man's pocket. How did the money go to the common man? With Jan Dhan. Jan Dhan was a scheme to get at least one bank account per family. Started in 2014, the scheme was supposed to provide zero balance accounts without any maintenance fee. Hundreds of millions of accounts were opened, uniquely identifiable by Aadhaar cards. The scheme was further extended in 2018 to provide an account to every adult and also granted overdraft facilities to people below the age of 65 years. In the meantime, National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) was carrying out a technological overhaul of financial system. Backed by Payments and Settlement System Act 2007, NPCI has been strengthening the transaction backbone of transfer of money in India actively since 2014. They introduced RuPay Card, which is a cheaper alternative to other debit cards and offer an equivalent level of security. This RuPay Card was offered with the Jan Dhan account opened earlier. Opting in this card automatically covered the beneficiary to the medical and life insurance schemes offered by the government. The even bigger impact of NPCI came when they introduced Unified Payment Interface, which is an ultra-secure protocol to transfer money over the internet from one bank to another. This opened up a gateway for a whole new industry of payments and financial management apps in India, which offered payments by apps over phones. Literally all shops in the country now offer payments by scanning barcodes from your phones. Which brings us to my next highlight, smartphones. India has one of the cheapest 4G rates on the planet. This, coupled with 4G available in even the remotest corner of the country, from the heart of Himalayas to the tip of the sea, has made India the biggest market of smartphones and the biggest consumer of data in the world. The telecom companies have really done well in terms of their duties to provide data services to everyone all across the country. This is promoting a smartphone culture in the country. Smartphone has penetrated to even the poorest sections of the society, and people are actively using these UPI-based payments. Demonetization in 2016 made for a big push to people's behavior for this change, and now people are very open to the idea of online payments versus the real money. Demonetization was a measure announced by the government in November 2016 to curb the black money, fake currency, and improve digital payments in India by taking out all the big currency notes in circulation. Immediately before the demonetization, UPI was released, and this move saw wide adoption of UPI powered by big smartphone market in India and the availability of cheap 4G data. Now, there are a few more important things that went well for India during this decade. One of them is Ayushman Bharat scheme, which assures rupees 500,000 help per family in a financial year. This ensures that all the family do get help if they get sick due to coronavirus. The other one is an ever increasing startup ecosystem in India. India has made a drastic reduction in poverty estimates in the last 10 years, from 275 million people in 2010-11 to almost 80 million people at the end of 2019. This growing income and increasing middle class has fueled the growth of a startup ecosystem, some of which are providers of doorstep services such as food, groceries, clothes, etc. The people can sit at home and still avail these services. Due to this coronavirus pandemic, the government has allowed daily subsidies to the daily wage workers. They are identified using Aadhaar and getting regular deposits to their Jan Dhan accounts using UPI. They can now use this money to avail services to deliver food and groceries at their homes without needing to go out. This ensures that the lockdown prevails and the transmission rate stays lower. As a cherry on top, the government is using existing delivery network to get food and rations delivered to each and every household at a subsidized rate. This is how it all comes together. This is why Indian numbers are so low, even after being a country of more than a billion. India's leadership in combating corona pandemic has been appreciated all over the world, and the developing countries should start following this model. Videos like this take a lot of time and effort to make and upload. A subscription from your side would be massively appreciated. Until next time.